staff from Ministry of Agriculture, our students, graduates, parents, ladies and gentlemen, Nimbula Binakatiyo. Ladies and gentlemen, it's one thing to open a training or research or teaching institution. It's the other to offer quality and recognized qualification from the institute. I want to thank and hats off to the leadership of NATI, the academic leadership of NATI, in particular the principal, Mr. Wembuta. I met Wembuta, of course I know him from a long time. I think probably when I was at Alafua campus studying agriculture, and I think Wembuta also was there. But I met him when I was Minister of Education at NATI, and I think he was just appointed as the principal. The qualification and the quality of the qualification then and now, there's a huge difference. And I want to thank the high quality, hands-on and competency-based qualification that is offered by NATI. I want to thank the leadership, the principal, and of course the other staff that goes with him. But if you don't have the right leader, then that low quality of leadership would cascade down to the other staff. The staff morale will be affected. So it's not only the quality of leadership, but the intellectual capacity that we can see in terms of the qualification, the competency base, and the quality of graduates that is coming out of NATI. So parents and stakeholders, and of course government, we are very happy with where NATI is today. But all along, people have been talking about tutu when it comes to competency-based agricultural qualification and quality graduates. But I think NATI, if not surpassed, let me be a bit modest, as he called the graduates. I think NATI has also, under the leadership of Wembuta, has added new programs, relooked at the existing program, and to ensure that we fill in the gaps that we find in this sector. I also want to thank the leadership of the church for their vision to establish NATI long back. It is not a recent institute. NATI has been there. I've been associated with NATI in a number of ways long time back as an initial agriculture qualification that I have. But let's acknowledge the leadership of the church and the vision they had to establish the first ever tertiary institution in agriculture. Because they knew that the importance of agriculture will never subside in the country. So ladies and gentlemen, today is a very important occasion where we will acknowledge and witness the graduating of 29 students and the other students who are graduated with 2 other qualifications. I believe this is a moment that the students and the parents and of course the stakeholders, particularly Ministry of Agriculture, we have been waiting for. And the graduating students today, you are joined by your parents, the stakeholders, the staff, who are all looking forward to the fruits of their labor. Today, the leadership of the institute will be handing over certificates to graduates who will be leading the growth and development of agriculture sector in the near future. Ladies and gentlemen, COVID-19 has clearly demonstrated to us the importance of agriculture in case someone or some people had doubts about its role in the Fijian economy. It was the only sector that was not affected by COVID-19, and a sector which was the hope for all the people in the country for food security and economic viability. While other sectors came to a standstill, agriculture continued to grow. And we at the Ministry of Agriculture, we mobilized even the urban households to engage in production. We took advantage of the crisis in the external market and pushed for exports of our produce. In 2020, non-sugar agriculture exports continued to grow despite the pandemic, achieving for the first time ever $106 million worth of exports, surpassing the traditional sugar sector. In 2021, the non-sugar agricultural exports further grew to $121.3 million. This indicates to us the enormous potential in this sector and the bright future that those who are engaged in agriculture can have. The increased exports means a lot to the country. Most of the receipts are transferred back to the rural farm households, implying increased farm household income, increased income of landowners, laborers who are engaged in the sector, and progressive improvement of rural economy and livelihood of rural households. But ladies and gentlemen, students, we have now entered a new era as far as agriculture is concerned. Those who had doubts about its role in the economy have now understood how important agriculture is. Those who were only harping about importance of tourism, importance of small manufacturing sector, are now acknowledging and nodding that yes, agriculture has been an important sector, is an important sector, and will continue to play an important sector, not because it is an alternative, but it is because we, Fiji, has a strategic advantage in this sector. We, Fiji, has a brand image in outside market with regard to the commodities that we're exporting. We, Fiji, have the key, the most important factor of production, land, in large amount. And at the moment, most of it unutilized. Now, some people may have this misunderstanding and misnomer that the land that we have in large amounts are not A-grade land or not the top quality land. I think it's a misnomer, it's a misunderstanding. Because if you look at all those land which is now A-grade, it was in that form before. It has been converted into A-grade by working hard, by improving land clearing, etc. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now for the first time treating agriculture as a profession. All along, agriculture was seen as a sector of those who were not able to excel in the formal sector, let's say, as an accountant, as a teacher, or as a doctor, as a business person. But for the first time now, increasingly, people are seeing agriculture as a profession of equal footing, as an opportunity to do business. You too can have better houses. You too can have high quality house. You too can buy properties and invest in other sectors of the economy. You too can have pension as those of us who are working in the formal sector. Night before last, I was in the interior of NATI meeting the leaders and farmers and women and youth of 5 villages, Uto, Wangandra, Unamuli, Longi. There was one other village. And we had a very good discussion about how we could leverage that particular area into a vibrant sector for growth and development in national interest, in their interest, and the interest of the region. Therefore, your decision to pursue a career as an agricultural entrepreneur is far-sighted and the best decision given the vast amount of land resources that you have access to as the villages of those areas that I was there that night. Your journey to become a successful agricultural entrepreneur begins now, and I wish to urge you to think on the following if you want to be successful, if you wish to be successful. You need to conduct yourself not as a farmer, but as an agricultural entrepreneur. From day one, you must see yourself as an agricultural entrepreneur, as an agricultural business person, businessman, businesswoman. You're not just a farmer. You need to treat agriculture as a business. So you are an agricultural entrepreneur. Treat your agriculture business as a full-time profession. Just like someone in the area of teaching, a teacher, let's say, wakes up early in the morning, prepares the breakfast, prepares the children, then goes to work, let's say leaves the house at 7 a.m. or 6:30, comes back at 5 a.m. or 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. You need to treat agriculture, your business, in the same manner. You can't say, okay, today it's okay, maybe tomorrow I'll go to the farm, today I'm going to go and visit some family members, etc. Then only you can say that this is a profession, a business. You need to be very prudent on farm management and financial skills. That only you can be successful as an agricultural business person. You need to keep the farm records in detail. You need to ensure that you save and invest. No business in any country has grown without savings and investment. Critical, very critical, simple, fundamental of any business enterprise. You need to create surplus. Unless you treat it as a business, you won't be creating surplus, making profit. Once you create surplus, then only you can save part of it, spend part of it on your household requirements and needs, and the third component is to reinvest. And this is the major drawback in Fiji, in the rural interior. We see that people are not saving and therefore are not investing. They are not saving and investing for two reasons. One is the culture of content, that whatever we need, that's what we produce. And the second is that you don't create surplus. If you don't create surplus, how would you save and invest? So I think it's time that the parents, members of the Matangali, all of them get together and inculcate a corporate culture amongst the youths, amongst the graduates that we have who are now going to establish an agricultural enterprise. We can churn out the best of the graduates with the best skills, competency-based skills. And that is what distinguishes NATI from some other universities or training institutions across the road. But when they go back, part of their village, Matangali, and if the Matangali members don't have this corporate culture, so respect for the corporate culture, then you will not be able to grow. And it is my humble plea to the members of the respective Matangalis, the parents, the village members, that you allow these young graduates to undertake corporate agriculture. And in this regard, I want to thank the principal for mooting the idea long back that we must give them individual separate leases. I recall a case about 2 years ago in Nandi. Matangali members allowed the formation of a youth group to undertake commercial agriculture. Ministry assisted them to start off. In the next year, they wanted tank and irrigation facility. And we were about to give to the youth group when we received a letter from the Turaningoro saying, we don't recognize the youth group, don't assist them. So these things should never happen. There may have been some dispute, etc. But this is how the youths are discouraged from moving into a commercial venture. And this is the primary reason why the growth and development of villages are slow. Because while you have large amount of resources, these resources are not put to best use in a corporate way because the entire corporate culture is absent amongst the Matangali members. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the key strategic priority areas of the Ministry of Agriculture's 5-year strategic development plan is the establishment and development of commercial agriculture. To achieve this, the sector needs to produce qualified young farmers, competency-based, who should be willing to expand the agriculture business and grow beyond. For that reason, I'm grateful to the management and staff of NATI for today's event and preparing these young graduates. You need to think big. You need to dream big. That is how. You need to think where you want to be from day one. When you go back after the graduation ceremony, meet your family members there, your villages, etc. There will be a reception. Then immediately you need to map out where you want to be in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, 15 years' time, 20 years' time. Along with it, the dreams of the other members of Matangali would be attached, family and village in Matangali. Because you won't be growing, your growing will also lead to growing of the entire village. Therein, I'm asking in that the Matangali, the village members must support, because you growing will also allow them to grow. So you need to think big, that's where you want to be in 15 years' time. And start small and gradually strategize, plan to get there. Very important that you must have a plan and a strategy to get there. Over the years, NATI, despite challenges, has embraced its core functions to train the unemployed Fijian youth in agriculture in order to enhance their livelihood and provide a sustainable source of income. How NATI navigated to ensure that you are able to graduate today during the pandemic, during the COVID-19, is remarkable. Remarkable. Some of the other institutions were struggling, but your graduation is not delayed by much, just a couple of months. And how they ensured that despite that, the quality of the graduates are not compromised. The quality of graduates are not compromised. The competency and the skills that you're supposed to have in the absence of COVID, they ensured that you still have that competency and skill sets. Hats off to the principal and the teachers. And also, thanks to the Methodist Church for giving them that level of confidence and leeway and flexibility to manage the institutions without interference. Without interference. I've seen schools fail because there are continuous interference by the owners of funders. So, ladies and gentlemen, today I would like to congratulate each and every graduate. I want to assure on behalf of the Ministry of Agriculture that we will continue to support NATI and we will not forget you as you graduate from here. Today, with your new qualification, you will be working in the agriculture sector. And I would encourage you to get to know the sector better, its demands and what it expects from you. So learning shouldn't stop here. Continue to learn more about the sector through the Ministry of Agriculture and strategic priorities. Today we are providing you with a small package of tools and necessary materials to help you start up your agricultural venture. But in the next financial year, we will be advertising in August close to 15 programs. 15 programs for farmers, to give them the leverage to move into commercial agriculture. These 15 programs will include, but not limited to, that's a fencing material package, goat and sheep shed package, irrigation package, land clearing support, nurseries package, hydroponics setup, 2/3 contribution towards purchase of small equipment, let's say rotavator, stockyard construction, piggery pen material package. We want all of you, the 29 of you, to put in your application in terms of preference, first preference, second preference, third preference. All 29 of you will be provided with one package. Either, it depends on which area you go. You get into crop agriculture, you may need a nursery package, you may go into horticulture and you may need an irrigation set, complete irrigation set, or you would want to have an hydroponics set, you are close to a hotel, your farm, or you are into piggery venture and we want materials to construct a piggery pen, or you are into beef cattle farming and you want fencing material, or you already have a beef cattle farm, you have fencing material, you want to construct a stockyard. So all of you will be provided one package. We just want you to follow the process, put in your application. I wish to inform NATI head, the principal, that this practice of providing this support package to the graduating students will and should continue even in my absence, because this is young farmers, young entrepreneurs who will be pushing agriculture in the future, who will be replacing the aging farmers. So this should continue in the ministry, and I will make it a policy that it will continue. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a number of requests was raised by the principal, not only to Ministry of Agriculture but other stakeholders. On behalf of Ministry of Agriculture and the government, I want to thank all the other development partners and donors who had supported NATI and the IPTC as well. Any support that comes to NATI, it is supporting Fiji's agriculture sector. These students, they already have a stock of land that they're going to go back and engage in. So on behalf of government, on behalf of Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Joseph Marama, our cabinet, I want to thank all those stakeholders who had supported NATI. And again, I want to come back and thank the leadership and all the teachers who have really worked hard. Teaching a competency-based program is very different than a typical university teaching. Because in a competency-based program, you're not only teaching, but you are accountable for the learning outcomes. A lot of people, a lot of academics don't know the difference between teaching and learning outcomes. At the completion of that particular subject or unit, or at the completion of that year, the number of credit points or hours that is being delivered or required of that particular program, have the students achieve the learning outcome. That is pushing the teachers a further distance. Unlike a university professor or teacher where I used to be a lecturer, where we come, this is the timetable we're giving, take the lectures, tutorial, mark the tutorial, mark the exam paper, get the grades out, job is done. They are not held accountable for learning outcomes. But in a competency-based institute like NATI, and of course Tutu as well, and other competency-based institutions we have, some of the programs at FNU are competency-based, the tutor or the lecturer or instructor or the teacher are held accountable to the students getting the learning outcomes. Upon completion of this unit, can the student do budding? Upon completion of this unit, can the student do castration? Upon completion of this, can the student, milk the cow and get the milk out and ensure that the milk is of that particular grade? So and so are the learning outcomes. And I'm so proud to be here today, to be associated with the graduation of competency-based students who have achieved the learning outcomes. So with that, allow me to close this address with a quote from Nelson Mandela's famous line, and a quote, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world," unquote. Now it's up to you to change your village, change your province, and I do hope that the provincial councils will also come in and sponsor and pick up all the cost associated with the students studying here. And you are now tasked to change in the positive way your area, respective areas. Thank you, Manaka, and congratulations to all the graduates.
Bunyani Katanapulagi Nulwatu.
Bunyani will plant root crops and Nambana in his own land.
Nulwatu Waimoro Naitasiri. Very zero. Serusi Rotondo Singa, Nulwatu Waimoro Naitasiri. Luka Waimoro Naitasiri. Best Young Farmers Award 2022 goes to student number 2002.
Venga,